Boom. Welcome to NCAA Net Profit. I'm Conor Mack with my co-host, Maxwell Smart. My guy, how was your weekend? Let's talk real quick. Friday was a little rough, especially for me. I went 1-4. I had a pretty good week. And then I had a 1-4 Friday that left me just barely at 12, 11, and 1 for the week. So I know you weren't that bad. You had a good early week, a couple of bad ones late. You were 11 and 14. But how was the weekend? Touch on that, and how was your weekend? We'll get into a few scores from yesterday.
Well, as much as I want to win every pick that I give out on the show, Connor, we all know from watching me the last couple years that's probably not going to happen. So we should just be realistic about it. It's important,
True.
definitely, to stay even minded. And as a shooter, and I shoot a lot of volume, I just have to continue to shoot.
Agree.
So when I lose a couple bets, it definitely makes me lose a couple minutes off my life, maybe a couple hair follicles from the back of my head. But I keep on going because I want to play softball all summer long. And the only way I'm doing it is if I make enough money betting this sport in order to bulk up, save up, and then store up.
Yeah, just speak the truth right there. I know how much you love your softball too. So
I'm
this guy,
addicted. I got to play
he's
it every day.
addicted. He's in multiple leagues. But I love that. Let's just touch on some of the big. Let's just go yesterday. If there's anything Saturday you wanted to get into, but let's get into Sunday. Just yesterday, let's run through some scores like we normally do. Mondays are a little bit different. The other days we go over our, what we did and all that shit. But yesterday, I thought there was a few games just to touch on, especially we were on. I know like Princeton, that was a good win against Oregon State. This over in Utah State, Oklahoma, big win by Utah State. Hit some big shots. Miller hit some big threes there late in that game. Let's keep rolling through. You got to touch. I was on
Utah
Villanova.
State.
Yeah. Go ahead, Max.
Yeah, sorry. I just want to go back to Utah State. I'll say this. When you see the fact that this team lost their coach and they still brought in a great coach in Ryan Odom, who has brought along character players like RJ Adorock and Brandon Horvat, you always are going to feel confident now betting on this Utah State team. So I was really impressed with how they played, and I was really even happier to get the over and get the cover. So it was a real nice game.
I agree. This was one that stayed under. They just keep hitting. Virginia Tech just beat down Merrimack. That game stayed under. I wanted to touch on. Let's talk about the big one. I was on Villanova real quick. Yeah, I know you're on Purdue. I felt pretty good with about 9 minutes left, and the size took over. Purdue's just size, strength. The defense put a clamp down on Villanova, and a great win by Purdue. They get big win and cover. Go ahead, my guy.
Listen, bud. Zach Edey, Toronto, Ontario, 7'4" of Canadian maple syrup
monster,
drinking fucking monster. Bro, when you watch him do what he did at fucking Team Canada this past summer, you knew that he's coming to school and he was gonna fuck with his eyes open. He's fucking with his eyes open all day. So
yeah, he
put some love on that name, bro.
Yeah, he's a beast in the middle. Super Canadian for damn sure. Top of the list of super Canadians. Definitely for me. College basketball.
I'll tell you, Connor, my favorite game of yesterday, and I enjoyed yesterday. I loved yesterday. There was a lot of games I really enjoyed. St. Thomas and SIU Edwardsville. That was a fantastic wire to wire non-ass clencher. And I love non-ass clenchers, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
and
the best.
Another game I really like, Connor, that I have to get off my chest. Navy. The Patriot League governor says Navy is good at basketball. 77-66 at Furman. What a fucking win.
Huge. Boom. Shout out to our guy, Arthur Meade Jr. Thanks, my guy. Great show, Conor and Max. Continue great work. We appreciate you, Arthur, for always donating, hitting the like button, supporting Pub Sports Radio. We appreciate it, my guy.
Thank you very much, Arthur.
For sure. Thanks, Art. Let's just rip through a few more. West Virginia had a nice 7-point win over Clemson. Florida State laid the points. Beautiful win there. I want to talk about them today. That was a game I'm leaning with them. I wanted to talk with you today. Davidson beat East Carolina. That was a loss for me. Man, what a breakdown in the second half there for East Carolina. Good first half and just kind of melted. Davison, it was like 42-25, I think, the second half, something right around there, and just missed covering.
Yeah, it's the danger of not having a supporting cast. When Tristan Newton has to put up 28 and you still lose, that you need some more fucking help complimentary scoring.
Yep, exactly. More on this. I thought the total was high. Texas Southern stayed on another Texas Southern under with NC State in that one, and just an 8-point loss.
Brutal. Yeah, that was brutal for me. I got tortured team total wise and on the full game total. But Connor,
oh, did you?
I'm surprised that you haven't mentioned the fucking best game on the board.
It's next. It's you're like right in the next one right after it. St. Bonaventure 70-54, huge win. His Bonnies just beat a hot Marquette team. And you must have won big. I'm sure you had plenty of money on that one, but for sure. Stayed under too.
I was definitely highly involved in that game. And when I knew that I can go clean up dog vomit rather than sit there and watch this game, I knew the money was already in my account. It's just a matter of the fucking local fucking putting it there. So I was so impressed with the Bonnies. This is what chemistry, established winning, and a great scheme do at the collegiate level. And we're gonna be the benefactors. We're still gonna hit unders. We're still gonna hit ATS. And even if this team is down, even if they can't make a shot, they're still gonna fucking cash for us. I love it.
I love it. Just the defense clamped down to hold Marquette to 54. Just team basketball on both sides of the ball from Bonaventure. I love it. Love to see it.
Yeah, it's a homer opinion, Connor. It's a homer opinion.
Hey, but they're kicking ass. I know you're a homer opinion, but when they win big like that and against a team that's playing really well, it's already had some big wins. Look out. So toot that horn, baby. Toot it up, Toot your Bonnies all the way. Let's go through a few more. Utah beat down Tulsa pretty good by 14. Missouri beat SMU in OT by 5. And then the nightcap here, Arizona, man, took down Michigan. Whew, big show. Where was Michigan? Took a beating from Arizona, 80-62. What'd you think about that one? Were you on that game at all? Or were you on it?
I was on the first half over, which was a real ball buster because it didn't hit, and then the full game did hit. And I had Michigan in a money line parlay, so it was pretty shocking. But it was also important to see that freaking with Arizona's super Canadian and this size that they have, you just toss the ball up near the rim, and Christian Koloko can go and get it for you. So I think that Arizona is on the burst of breaking something open that could be fantastic for us bettors and could be even more beneficial once we get to conference season.
All right. Well, let's get to today's games. Let's get to yours. I'm going to give a quick shout out to the chat, though, before we do that.
Absolutely.
We got Arthur Mead. He donated. We appreciate it. Paul Taylor, Jay Peasy, Willie Beeman in the back. Shout out to Willie Beeman. Jared TG, Christopher Comentini, Real Deal Prime, the announcer. Kevin Riley, what's up? Jake Burns, we appreciate you being in here. Hit the retweet. Hit the like, hit the bells, the whistles. We appreciate it. We appreciate you guys being in there. And it's Monday. We're glad to be back on. I'm a little under the weather, but we're going to power through this, and we're going to win at the end of the night. So cash Big Macs. Let's get to your plays. One of them got canceled. Like you said, you're going to add one. That was the Utah Valley-Idaho game. So let's get right to your second one. UCLA favored by 22.5 against Bellarmine. Totals 144.5. What were you looking here at this game?
Yeah, this is a spot where we know something about UCLA. We know that UCLA, if the three-point shot isn't dropping, that they can still score from multiple levels and that they can stop a team from going bonkers from three, but they're not going to shut a team down because they are always going to have Juzang on the floor. He's going to constantly be a disappointment defensively when he's a star offensively. And for that reason, I really want to focus on the one aspect that is not going to be heavily impacted, which I think is UCLA's pace and tempo. I think that if UCLA wants to go up tempo against Bellarmine, they are going to be able to do that for stretches versus them. It is going to be interesting to see them on a neutral court tonight, and it is going to be interesting to see how that scoring translates to the road. I still think that this is a team that is going to put up close to 90 points in these non-conference games against these perceived cupcakes. Bellarmine obviously is a team that is adapting to life without Pedro Bradshaw, and I think that's a big loss. This is a team that definitely plays team basketball with Dylan Penn and CJ Fleming and company running the show, but losing to Gonzaga by 42 was definitely a pretty predecessor that I think that we can take advantage of. UCLA team total over 83.5. That's the play. I think that we see UCLA get some tempo. I think that we see Bellarmine's lack of athleticism and speed at the wing spots come back to haunt them. And unless they can freaking pound down low, I think that this is a game that Miles Johnson has a good offensive game. I think that he's going to have uber potential when it comes to DFS lineups. So I'm all over UCLA team total. I'm going to take a high-flying offense. I'm not going to let the defense go. As long as they put up 40.5 at least, we're going to be able to get there. So let's get that UCLA team total over 83.5. West Coast style. Mick Cronin, touched by the Red Devil.
Little Mick in his chalkboard, whiteboard, always coaching. I'm with you. I like this. I think UCLA against these teams early on, until we get to conference play, they can definitely fill the bucket. So I love the over 83.5. Yeah, shout out Kevin Riley. I'm on all three, man. I'm loaded. Vitamin D, zinc, vitamin C. I'm on all of them. Believe me. All right, let's get to your next one, Max. This one, Eastern Illinois versus Eastern Kentucky. Eastern Kentucky's favored by 15.5, total 144. What was your angle here on this one?
Yeah, this is a spot where I think Eastern Kentucky is going to have an easier time scoring the basketball than they did against Albany. In the game against Albany, we saw long stretches of not being able to make a three, not being able to create turnovers with the press, and that helped the game go under. I want to be able to exploit that defensive ability to shut down an opponent, and I didn't think that taking a full game total was going to be beneficial to me. When we look at this Eastern Kentucky team, this is a team that definitely has 3-level scores. It's just a matter of getting those volume threes out in a game from guys like Kurt Lewis and Cooper Robb. I think that with Michael Moreno struggling offensively, this could be the matchup that we see him explode. There were plenty of games last year that him and Trey King playing alongside each other on the floor together were very good together. Him and Jansen Williams don't have that chemistry yet, but the Marshall transfer has done exactly what you needed from him. A big man that can stretch the floor, hit a shot inside or outside the arc, and really keep the defense offense honest and keep the paint clear of defenders. I think Eastern Kentucky gets off the offensive schneid today. I think that they crack at least 85, and a team total at over 80.5 is going to be my next official play, Connor.
I love the breakdown there. Over 80.5. Okay, I got it down. Let's get to your next one. This one's an interesting, one team here. Virginia, minus 8.5 versus Georgia. We got, of course, a low total, and a Virginia game totals 122.5. Where are you looking here?
This is going to definitely be a bit of a surprise to a lot of people, and the way that I'm looking at this game is, what can Georgia do offensively that Virginia can't stop? Can they make shots from outside? How many shots are they going to be able to get from their big men down low? And can they defend? Well, I personally think that with this Virginia team, it's all a matter of if or when, and I think that not being on their home court hurts them more in this matchup. I don't really want to base my plays off a team being in an arena or not being in an arena, but I think that you're getting Georgia at a good time and a good number. obviously the 61% from the free throw line is really fucking sticking out in my mind, but it's not like Virginia has the type of fucking offense that they're really going to dominate from the free throw line themselves. I think that Jaden Gardner against Braylon Bridges is going to be a tough matchup for Jaden Gardner to win. So I don't think that he's going to be going offensively fucking unchallenged. And I just think that when you look at the end of the day, this Georgia team, they're not great. They're not good at all. But all they need to do is have one good shooting game from the fucking combination of Jalen Ingram, Aaron Cook, and fucking Christian Wright. And I think that this team is going to fucking be able to at least stay within 9.5 points. So I wanted to give the under. This was my second favorite play within the game. I think it's going to be a rock fight. And in a rock fight that Georgia can go from coast to coast on a made bucket, I'll give them the shot there. And I think that they can hang within the number. So give me Georgia plus 9.5, Mr. Conor Mack.
Yeah. You know what? I stayed off this, but that's where I'd be. It's ugly, and I don't love this Georgia team. They struggle.
I'll just say this. The number has moved to 8.5. I still like it there.
Yeah, I think it's fine there as well. If you think it 9.5, 9. I'm just not impressed with Virginia. Maybe they get better as the year goes on, but I don't want to lay points with them. So to me, this is the dog or pass. Looking at this game,
especially at home.
Yeah.
At home, I'll consider it. On the road, I just can't. I have to lose money before I fucking go the other route.
I got a net in here. That's live shit right there. Let me get your fourth game.
Yeah, so we're going to go to a game that's definitely off the radar for a lot of people. But for me, I think that we have a team in Siena that we can exploit. I think that we have seen it over and over again now. And I think that Harvard's the next one up. Harvard's a team that has great length. They're going to be able to lock down defensively. And if you don't get good offensive performances from freaking guys in your lineup like Andrew Platek, the North Carolina transfer who just got freaking eligible last game, and Anthony Gaines, the Northwestern transfer, I just don't see Jackson Stormo and Colby Rogers being able to lead you all the way. I think that while you're good, someone's going to be able to get off. I'm not saying that you're going to be able to stop every single offensive weapon on this team, but you're not going to lose this game, and you're not going to be able to win this game by less than 5 points if only those two guys get off. I'm seeing not enough consistency, not enough cohesion, not enough chemistry building early on to back Siena even as the home dog. And this is a team that, when they're good, has a fantastic home court environment and really does produce ATS wise. I just don't think so in this situation. I have to take Harvard in this spot. And I think that at 4.5, it's a decent number. You know, I think that right now there's only 5s across the board, but if you can get a 5 at minus 105, I still like that. I think that this could be, if Harvard plays our type of game, length, defend, shoot inside the arc, non-reliant on the 3-point shot, and making your free throws, which is something they do over 70%. It ticks all the boxes, Connor. So give me Harvard, and we'll take the number now at 5 minus 105.
Yeah, definitely have 5 here. Since your Utah Valley got canceled, shoot me whatever you're going to go here next.
Yeah, let's go to another game that starts at 8 o'clock Eastern. It is the College of Charleston versus Oklahoma State. Plain and simply, with this College of Charleston team, this is a change of scheme. This is a team that is going to play up tempo. This is a team that has 2 5-man lineups that they can run out you, so they have very good depth. I think that they're going into Oklahoma State against a team that has not figured out who is going to be the shot taker at the end of the shot clock, who is going to be the guy that facilitates. Everybody is playing freestyle right now. I don't think that it's good for us betting as a double-digit favorite even at home. I have to look at College of Charleston in this spot. At 16, we're definitely not getting the best of the number when 17s were available, but it's good enough for me. I saw this team played against North Carolina. If they can bring half or 60% of that effort, I think that they may have a lead at halftime. and then maybe they blow it going in the second half and they lose late. I'll take that any day. So give me Charleston plus 16.
All right, and hold on. I'm going to refresh my thing. I think we can get you 16.5 here, Max. Sorry for everyone. This wasn't our original. There we go. Yeah, I can get you a 16.5. Good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that. And apologies if my connection's a little short right now. I think that there is a homeless festival going on, and they are sucking all the free Wi-Fi up around.
Excellent. Well said. That was great. That was yours. Let's get to mine. And then, yeah, we'll get to all your questions. And, yeah, I heard you guys already talk about it in the chat. Here's mine. We'll get right to the Ohio State Seton Hall. I am on it. I might be a little bit. Seton Hall's favored by 2.5 now. I got 2. Total's 137. Ohio State struggled early. They barely beat Niagara, Akron, some of these close games. They lost to Xavier the other night. They were favored by 2.5. They're not very good defensively right now. And Seton Hall is shooting the ball well. They're playing defensive extremely well. To me, this is pretty easy. I know some people like Ohio State, in this spot. This is in South Florida, I believe. So, is it, Max? I'm going to double check that. Let me double check that. I don't think Seton Hall's at home. But, yeah, I'm on Seton Hall here.
It's a neutral court.
Yeah, neutral court. Okay, I thought it was in Florida. I just love it. One thing, Seton Hall's been holding teams to 13%, from 3. That won't continue. Ohio State, I think, will score, but I just love how Seton Hall's playing right now, and they're laying the short number. Even at 2.5, I like it. The center's been extremely good. Samuel inside for Seton Hall, and they shot it well. So if they continue that, I think they win the game. I think once you touch 3, 3.5, maybe not as much. I got 2. Even at 2.5, I got to endorse it. We do this show later in the day, Max, so sometimes we get a little bit shitty out of the line. So 2.5, I'm taking Seton Hall. What do you think of this one? You like Ohio State?
I don't hate your guts for taking Seton Hall, Connor. I just don't want to bet the game. So I am off this game. It is a big pass, and I rather watch. I rather watch dry dog urine in a carpet. So yeah, put it like that. Fuck Seton Hall. Go UConn.
I know. I had a feeling you might not be on it there in that one. Let's get to my next one. Hofstra versus Richmond. Richmond's laying 9.5, total 146. I'm a little bit enamored, I guess, here with this Hofstra team. They went to Maryland. They could have won the game. They lost by 2. This is a spot when I see these teams like power rank everything just early, because you can only go back to last year so much. I think this is like a 5.5. So I see 4 points of value. I got to take Hofstra. I think Richmond's a little better offensively, obviously here. But I just think with 10 points, I think they can cover. Their defense that's what worries me. I think this game's in the 70s. It even could get into the 80s. Hofstra's bleeds, but I think they'll be able to score on Richmond. Richmond played a hell of a game the other night against Drake. They covered. They lost by 3. I think this is good enough where, right, as long as you got 10, you got 9.5 here, I think they could cover it. I think it's a lot to ask Richmond, who's a very good basketball team, but I'm going to ride Hofstra here. Just too many points. I see the value. So give me Hofstra plus 9.5. What do you got here?
If I had a sound effect for I agree and clapping, I would press that button right now. Smart pick. Let's get it. You know why? I'll tell you why.
Beautiful.
What Grant Golden for Richmond does in the high post with his passing to cutters to the rim, I don't think that Hofstra has a way to defend that, but I do think that on the offensive side of the basketball, where they're going to have to just plain outscore this Richmond team, that's where they're going to be able to do it. What I saw in the first game between Jalen Ray and Zach Cooks, I'm mixing up their goddamn first names. I saw two players that are going to play very well together. We saw Jalen Ray be almost exclusively three-point oriented. And when you have a point guard like Zach Cooks with 4 years of collegiate experience, being able to drive and kick the way that he does to either side or out to the freaking top of the circle, I just think that this is a kid that is going to thrive playing beside this kid. And both these kids are going to bring you, me, and hopefully the rest of the chat an easy wire-to-wire casher where they lead at halftime and maybe they lose down the stretch also.
Yeah, I don't mind the first half look at all either there too, Max, if you want to double up or split your bet, however you like doing it. Yeah, and keep Barton. I mean, he had a career-high 30. He's very good for Richmond. I don't think he's going to have a game like that again, but, hold him down. They'll be able to, like I said, this total is interesting. I'm not going to take the over, but I think it's right around there. I think it could creep over on the total. All right, let's get to my third one here. Third one is Citadel versus Duke. Duke's favored by 26.5. Total's 156. I don't know. Maybe I just like this Citadel team a little too much. It's kind of like Hofstra. To me, this was like 22 points in this game, Max. I thought 26.5, they're kind of shitting on Citadel a little bit. Obviously, Duke's a lot better. They're at home. They should win. But I'm taking an ugly dog here. I think Citadel can score, with Roche, some of these guys. I think they can get it done. I think as long as they don't have a bad night shooting, I think they can stay in this. I didn't know. I wanted to talk to you. Is this one you might be like first half better? If you even like Citadel, let me know. What do you think here?
So, for this game, Connor, I would have wanted to have 30 points or more to get on Citadel because Citadel does not make free throws at 63%. They make 2-point buckets at fucking like 6 out of 10, but they do leave points at the free throw line, and that just sticks out of my mind when you got a big dog like this. So first half would be probably the way that I have to look at it.
Okay, I think they can make enough shots and stay within 26.5. I believe. And hopefully, to tell you the truth, this game they're gonna get their ass kicked, but hopefully not by much. And they got to make their free throws throughout the game, but it won't be a big deal at the end of the game. All right, let's get to my last because I only had 4 today that I really liked. TCU versus Santa Clara. Man, Santa Clara is a dog here, plus 3.5. TCU's favored 3.5. Man, this one's in San Juan Capistrano, California. TCU. I don't think this team's very good. They beat Nicholls 63-50. They were trailing at half by 6. I think they're a ho-hum, middle of the road, decent offensive team, decent defensive team. Santa Clara, this team just keeps scoring in buckets, 88.8 points per game. To me, this should be a pick 'em. I think this is a money line play. Take the 3.5 if you want, but take Santa Clara money line as well. Jalen Williams is a beast. BJ Pipes is going to be piping. I love Santa Clara here. I just think they have too much offense. I've been shocked how well they've been early. They played the better teams and won, and I don't trust TCU in this spot in California, laying almost 4 points. So give me Santa Clara here. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that with TCU, Jamie Dixon definitely has a lot of on paper nice players that are going to fit in together, but it so far really hasn't looked that well. I think that when you look at Max Evans and Shahada Wells playing like 15 minutes a game, that probably wasn't something that you expected early on when they transferred over there. And you're not really seeing the cohesion and chemistry developing between Mike Miles and Emmanuel Miller. So there are some question marks with the personnel going on over there. But when I look at Santa Clara, I agree with all the points that you made. The one big point that I want to make is if Vrancic is going to play today. If he plays, yes, I love Santa Clara that much more. But from what I'm seeing from the line move, it's making me think that he's not going to. So I think that puts a lot on the shoulders of Parker Braun. And Parker Braun is the guy that needs to step up tonight. I think that the guards are going to be important, but you got to have inside-out action. And
I agree.
When you got a 6'10 junior in there that knows what the fuck he's doing, it could be freaking Cookie Monster cupcakes all day. And I love Cookie Monster cupcakes. They're really good.
I know you do. I like the sound of that. All right, let's get to a few more. I'll ask you a few if the chat doesn't. Just a couple of leans I had, Max, I wanted to talk to you about. But everyone, get your games, their questions ready for them. We got a good 20, 25 minutes to go through these games. But for now, let's get a word from our sponsors. Load them up. Shout out from our sponsors. If you're in the San Antonio area, go to Southtown 101. Great booze, karaoke, food. We love it there. And get the manscaped.com. Shave everything up. Keep it clean down there. 20% off, promo code PubSports. And go to mybookie.ag. Hit promo code PubSports. $1,000 match bonus on the Bitcoin. Use the Bitcoin. They match you. If you don't use the Bitcoin, use your debit or credit. You put 1,000, they only give you half, 500. So pick your one there and get it done. Let's get to some of these games. I got to get to Arthur Meade. He shot me this. He donated. We got to get to him first. Loyola Marymount versus SMU. SMU favored by 3.5. Total 139.5. What is your look here, Max?
First off, when it comes to the total, Arthur, I was definitely liking the under at 143 and in the 140s because obviously you need that 3.5 point per minute pace or more. And now with it moving down to, I see freaking places anywhere from 137.5 to 139.5, it does make me question it a little more. I think that with SMU losing in the way that they did and not being able to control and make shots when you need to, even if they're close to the bucket, definitely leaves me with a little bit of worried. But I think that matchup-wise, their guards and athleticism is going to definitely provide some edges. And I also think the fact that they have size that Loyola Marymount does not is going to play against Marymount. So I like SMU. I liked it better at the opener when it was a 2. I would take it at 3.5 if I had a free play, but it's not something that I'm going to make official or I'm going to tell you right now, you go put your money on it.
Excellent. All right, let's get to Chris Comentini. Tarleton State, North Dakota State. What do you like in this one? I believe the total's 124. I just had it pulled up.
Yeah, with the total, I definitely like the under at first glance, but now we're seeing it get to the point where I'm not feeling comfortable with it. I think that on the side perspective, I do think that with a team that presses as much as Tarleton does, they're going to force some turnovers. They're going to get some easy buckets, but that's basically the gist of the best of their offense. They do struggle to facilitate offense in the half court. I think that it's a tough matchup for North Dakota State. I don't think that it's a number that is out of range for Tarleton. If you gave me a free play on it, I would take Tarleton State.
Okay. Let's get to the next one. This game is going to start shortly, so let's get to it. Creighton, 5.5 point favorites. They're Southern Illinois. Totals 135. Do you trust Creighton to cover this number here?
I just have to go with the numbers in this spot, and this is a spot that Creighton should be able to win. They should be able to win by 2 buckets or more. So make that short and sweet.
Beautiful. I love it. Shout out to Arthur Mead, another $5 dono. Appreciate it, my guy. Always donating. Hit me up the DM. You'll get your game, first. So I appreciate it. Let's get to some of these other ones. Creighton hoops. You bet UC Riverside. Ron Crawford, Seton Hall. I'm on Seton Hall. Jeff Slaughter, Harvard Providence moneyline parlay plus 193. He says, "Let's go cupcaking tonight, Max." Do you approve of this moneyline parlay from Slaughter?
I definitely like Providence. I definitely like the other side of the cupcake, and I think that you'll be eating some Cookie Monster cupcakes, Mr. Jeff Slaughter. Mr. Jeff Slaughter.
Okay, let's go Oregon. Charlemagne. I believe Oregon's 27-point favorites here on the outer board. Did you take this game, Max?
Yeah, it's a game that I just passed on. I'm not really interested in betting Chaminade off the island.
Yeah, that was a pass for me too. Yeah, 26, 27.5-point favorites. Totals 148 there. This was an interesting game. They got the big man back. Illinois, they're 9.5-point favorites over Cincinnati. Man, I just don't know if Cincinnati has this, but Illinois, they haven't got it done, but they get him back tonight. There might be a little rust. What do you like in this one? Did you bet it?
Yeah, this is a spot where I did take Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati does have value here because I'm not sure how much they're going to run it through Kofi Cockburn in the low post. Are they going to just hit shots from the outside? Are they going to be able to get it in? This is a Wes Miller, UNC Greensboro style defense, so we're going to see something that really clamps down the paint. He could end up in foul trouble early for all we know. I think that the bigger question is how Cincinnati scores the ball and how consistent they are. If they're able to score on Illinois, I think that the higher scoring, the more it benefits them. I think that with Illinois, you want to run some two-man game with Curbelo and Kofi, and then you want to have spot-up shooters in the corner in case you get those offensive rebounds and you can kick it out. But it seems like a simple offense to run, but it also seems like a simple defense to defend if you know what you're going to deal with.
All righty. I got Tease. What's up, man? He said Delaware Blue Hens cash it tonight. Willie Beeman. Yeah.
Damn straight. Fuck, bro. App State's going to get fucked in the mouth, bro. Straight hot shots.
Hot shots, the back of the throat.
They're going to need some moonshine from the freaking mountains of Appalachia.
True. Guy in the back, Willie Beeman. Slam Notre Dame. Moneyline tonight against St. Mary's. I want to talk about this one since we still have a few more to come up. UNR, South Dakota State, minus 2.5, totals 160. You like the Jackrabbits here, or you like UNR, Max?
Listen, I can't trust UNR yet. I want to. I want to be backing them every game, but I'm just not seeing it fucking connect all in the same game. It feels like there's too many mouths that are expecting to get fed, and there just isn't like the kind of offensive flow that we're getting last year. We knew that the guard tandem was going to be the focal point of the offense. Everybody else would have to fall in line. I don't think that's what's happening right now. So we're seeing that reflected on the floor, and it's reflecting in their inefficiency. I think that this is a spot that the Jackrabbits, as long as they don't get killed by Doug Wilson and his free throw shooting errors, I think that they can win the game. I don't want to lay points with them. I'd rather fucking take team totals, but I think that they win. So I'm not trusting UNR. I got to lose before I believe that shit.
Yeah, I mean, total's high, but you got to think both teams get in the 80s here, or about, in this game tonight. Yeah, Kevin Raleigh, College of Charleston, Oklahoma State. Max is on College of Charleston from that earlier. And Paul Taylor, I am on Santa Clara. Just rewind it back. I'm taking them 3.5 tonight. I think they can win outright. Yeah, and Slaughter, I think SMU bounces back tonight with a big one. I know you just went over that, but give it to the boss. SMU.
Yeah, I think that with SMU, they're able to get some easier shots than they did against Missouri. Loyola Marymount doesn't have the size and length. They're physical, they're tough-minded, but I think that is still a very different class of caliber teams here. So I look for a rebound game from SMU and a better game from Kendrick Davis, especially.
Here's a good one, Max. I wanted more points. I think there'll be points in this game. Belmont, LSU, big one. LSU is favored by 6, total 158, 159. What do you like here?
It's crazy to say this, but LSU's defensive numbers have been really, really good. But
I know.
On the other hand,
early.
They haven't faced an offense like Belmont, Connor. So
exactly.
I think that if Belmont makes shots early, if they run that 2-man game, if they have a lot of fucking off-ball movement and cutting to the rim, then guys are gonna get easy looks. But if they get fucking jammed up like they did against Ohio, then yeah, they could be on the other side of they could be on the wrong side of the score. I still think that it's a 4-point per minute pace, if not more. So 155 or 156.5 was kind of generous this morning.
Okay, this is another one that I like. I like this team. I know if you have too. I like both teams in this spot. UC Riverside versus UTEP. UTEP's favored by 4.5. Most everywhere is 5. Totals 131.5. There's 132. What do you like here in this one?
Yeah, the problem with Riverside is that they're just not shooting threes, Connor. So when I look at this game, I have to just look at the under first off. And then from a side perspective, I want to find out if Dom Pickett is going to be in the lineup. If Dom Pickett's in the lineup, then I'm definitely looking at Riverside. But until I find out that, it's just a spot that I have to just wait and see and watch, find out injury information before I do anything.
Excellent. Yeah, Kevin Riley, Harvard, Siena. Max went over it in his plays. He is on Harvard full game. Right, Max? -5.
Yes, sir. I'm not buying the Kool-Aid on Siena just yet.
Beautiful. This is a late one. I'm going to touch on. No one wants to ask these questions. I will, because I think these are great games. Wyoming, Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon, -3, 3.5. 3.5 most everywhere. Totals 132.5. Can this stay under? We'll just go over. What do you think of this game?
I think that with Wyoming, I think it's Ike or PK. I can't remember the fucking guy's name, but the big man for Wyoming, he was pretty much the single-handed reason that they could stay in the game against the Huskies, and that game still went to overtime. They still struggled to wrap it up. Now you're going up against a unproven front court for Grand Canyon, but still a very talented and deep back court. I think we're going to see a real perimeter-oriented attack from Grand Canyon. I think they lock down defensively, and I think that they make it very hard to play in one of the toughest buildings in college basketball. They got some fucking rowdy kids there. I don't know what the drinking age is in Arizona, but if they're not 21, they're drinking. I think they're drinking at 13, maybe 12.
Yeah.
So
booze flows there. That's the south of the West, Arizona. Wild there in Arizona for sure. Booze is
little
flowing.
Mojito, a little margarita.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So a lot of bourbon though. Also, of course, you gotta have bourbon.
Yes. Oh, it's a must.
Okay. All right. Just
Classic.
making sure.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Well, especially for me, yeah. Tequila. Oof, sometimes you can't handle it. Tulane. Drexel, Tulane. Ron Crawford. Tulane's favored by 2.5. Totals 131. Do you have anything in this game?
Yeah, that game is already being played. It's in a delay. They had a leak in the roof in the Bahamas, and I don't know what else is going on in that game right now, but they are still on a pause. Beautiful. And it's delaying every other game that has to be played there, which is only Valparaiso and Jacksonville State.
Excellent. Yes, I'm on Hofstra, Raymond. 9.5 plus 9.5. No, Thomas, thanks for shooting it again. Stony Brook, Sacred Heart. I looked at this total a little bit, 141.5. Did you have anything on it, Max?
I liked Stony Brook initially at 6.5, but one of my guys who I think is very sharp tried to broaden my horizons and let me know that Sacred Heart was a a nice play at plus 7.5. When you have an experienced backcourt the way they do, and then an up and coming point guard like Mike Sixsmith to go along with Terrence Clark, it's hard not to like Sacred Heart with some points. But I got a little bit of hurt feelings from their last game against Fairfield. They should have won that game, and they lost to those fucking Stags. And just so you know, Connor, the Sacred Heart home under streak is still intact. Lots of unders. A lot of unders.
That's why I looked at it. Even a little bit in this one because I don't love it, but I looked at it for sure. What about Kentucky? Laying 28, big number. Can they cover that here?
Yeah, in my head they can. I'm just not really liking it now at 28. You know, you're getting fucking 3.5 points of line movement off the opener. I think that when we watch the Kentucky versus Mount St. Mary game, I think that Mount St. Mary plays a much slower tempo and it can be a little more inefficient scoring the basketball than Albany's going to be. So I think that you really need a good fucking all-around shooting and defensive performance from Kentucky if they're going to be able to cover this number. I suspect that they will. I do think that these teams played a couple years ago or last year. I have to double check. I think it was last year, and they gave them a game that they didn't cover the big number. I think that this is a way more improved and way more effective Kentucky team. So,
all right, yes, Kev, we like Cincinnati. Max liked it at 10. I'm sure at 9. Still solid. Slaughter, he's taking a shot with UNR Providence, plus 330 also.
Canes Nation. UNR?
Yes, he's on Nevada and Providence.
Yeah, well, you know what, Slaughter? Slurp some cock soup for that one, okay? Let's go Jackrabbits.
Yeah, I liked how UNR played the other night. They got us to cover with San Francisco, but I need more points to want to take UNR tonight. Canes Nation, I am on Citadel. I'm on the ugly fucking dog. 26 points. I hope they can hang in there with Duke. Eastern Kentucky, do you have anything on that game, Max?
I think it's a good route spot for Eastern Kentucky. I thought that they're going to have it last game out. I think that this is the spot to take it. So looking and hoping for a 20-point wire-to-wire victory for Eastern Kentucky, who will press, turn you over, get to the rim, and hit a bunch of threes, hopefully 12 or more.
This is one I really like too. It's just this team sucks. Now they're realizing it, and they're 4.5-point dogs. George Mason favored by 4.5 here against Washington. Do you have anything in that one?
I like George Mason along with pretty much everybody else that's been watching basketball. I ain't betting on fucking the Huskies. No fucking way. Fade the Pac-12 if their name isn't Arizona.
Yeah. They suck, dude. I mean, I don't know why he's not fired. Dipshit Hopkins. I want to talk about this one. Florida State, Missouri. Florida State covered for me last night, 7.5. I still don't make a Missouri. We talked about the transfers, the kind of whole new team. Do you think Florida State can get it done again here, Max?
Yeah, I think that this Florida State team is going to go on a roll right now. I really like the full game spread. I like the first half. I think that when you look at Florida State, Connor, this is a team that definitely is building up that fucking balance. You're going to see fucking a different guy be able to hurt you from different levels and a different guy every night. It's hard not to like what you see Leonard Hamilton building right now. Matthew Cleveland, Jalen Worley, fuck, man. And I love how their big men run the fucking floor. They're always looking to fucking get some. So I get down with that kind of shit.
Yeah, I mean, he's been there 20 years now, and he just keeps reloading. You know, Florida State becoming like basketball.
And you can't even tell how old he is. He looks younger than he is.
True. This is facts.
I would have thought that he's like 20 years younger than he actually is.
This is one I wanted to touch on as well, was Colorado State. I believe they're taking on Northeastern. Spreads 8, 7.5. You have anything there?
Yeah, I think that it's hard not to like Colorado State in the spot. Northeastern is going to struggle to score. And just like last night, you know, they're able to build up a lead. But then you have some fucking trickery going on with the fucking coaching staff fucking fouling. You can't come back and win. I think with Northeastern not having Glenn McClintock, not having freaking Strong tonight, not Strong, not having Shaquille Waters, that will hurt. If Shaquille Waters is in the lineup and they don't have Glenn McClintock, I think that they can get by with that. I just think that it's a Colorado talent discrepancy level. And I think that when you look at the total, it's hard not to like an under. I don't trust Northeastern to score enough. So until they prove me otherwise, that's the way I'll approach it.
Yeah, Ron, Colorado State had problems last year covering, even at home. That's where I like them. Really good at home. I don't really love them too much on the road or out anywhere. Neutral court, lane points like that as well.
They're also 1-1 so far doing it. They lost against fucking Bradley on the spread, and then they beat Creighton. So we'll see tonight what happens.
Let's get to this from Big Show. If you had to pick a team each week to pick a new future bet, which team would it be? Or you mean just like this week's show? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, this week, like 3 weeks in, who would you put a future on that you wouldn't have put a future on week 1 or 2 or preseason?
To win it all.
Yeah, you could probably even do conference, even if that simplifies a little bit.
I would solidify my belief in Purdue. I would solidify my belief in Purdue.
You know what? I wouldn't. This is the best Purdue team. Painter always seems to screw things up with Purdue as much as I like them. I know Max probably doesn't want to hear that, but maybe this is the year. They definitely got the players. They are loaded. So I don't blame you for that. I don't have anyone. I'd have to really look it up. But maybe tomorrow I'll come back with an answer. Big Show in that one. That's about it. Let me run a couple more, Max. We've almost touched on every game. Missouri State, Long Beach. Missouri State, totals 150, spreads 12.5, 13.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely scoring time, hopefully, in this game. I am hoping for a high tempo, high scoring game. Doesn't need overtime to get over, but if there is a team that's going to go to overtime, it's probably going to be Long Beach State. They've already gone to overtime twice this year. So if you're looking for a off-the-board prop bet and you can take your local for a big freaking number, well, bet that Long Beach is going to overtime tonight. I think that the 13.5 is a little too big. I think that Long Beach is going to be able to score. Over 68.5 team total was something that I bet this morning.
All right. Team total over 68.5. Shout out
What's
to our
up,
guy,
Razor?
Nicky Fish Tanks in the house. Razor Sharp Picks. My guy, what is up? Glad to see you in the chat. Let's get to this next one, Max. It's a pretty big one. Cal versus Florida. Spreads 13.5. Totals 128.5. Can Florida cover this number?
Yeah, I will make this short and sweet, Connor. I did not bet this game. It was a complete pass.
Beautiful. It was a pass for me as well. I want nothing to do with it. Next, Arkansas, Kansas State. I found this one interesting. Arkansas, I don't love them as much when they're not at home. Obviously, they're loaded. Spreads 8. There's even 7.5. There's a little bit of Kansas State money. Totals 139.5, 140. Did you like anything here?
This is the first time that we're going to see Kansas State in that non-big favorite role, so it's interesting to see how they're going to perform against a upper echelon opponent. I do think that it does play into their favor that they're not really having to go very far. They are going to probably have the home court edge at the T-Mobile Center, but I have to look at Arkansas in this spot. When I look at Arkansas, I just see a team that is going to be able to have multiple guys that can beat you on the floor at any given time. It's just a matter of having 3 or 4 of these guys going off and for the offense to catch up to the defense. Once they figure that kind of stuff out, we're going to see Arkansas take off. I them in this game to win. I'm just not sure I'm still as confident in them covering this type of number.
I agree with you. It's kept me off the game for sure. Let's just get to a couple more. Lafayette, Rutgers. Rutgers, big favorite, 19.5. I was looking at the total here a little bit, 137. Do you have anything here?
Yeah, it's definitely reading to me like an under. I'm not really seeing the depth that we've seen the last couple years with this Rutgers team. And as far as laying this big number with them, it definitely isn't the sexiest bet to make. But I do think that this is finally the time that they get an opponent that they can really crush at home. So,
Crush.
like Russian vodka.
Yes. Daryl Turner, what's up? Jimmy will be on tomorrow, and you'll see Max on there. He's on Tuesday through Friday in the morning, betting with the bag, and he's with Loshak tomorrow. And Max, I think you'll be there, right?
Yes, I will join Peter and Jimmy. And
He'll be there. So Daryl, be there tomorrow. Let's just touch on a couple more. Actually, let's get to our games. Let's get out of here. The clock's about to sound. I want to roll through everyone in the chat. We've already had a few people ask. Go through your games one more time, Max, and then I'll go through mine, and we'll get out of here.
Yes. We will be going with Harvard -5, Georgia +8.5, Eastern Kentucky team total over 80.5, UCLA team total over 83.5.
And College of Charleston +16.5.
Yes, sir. If we can get the 16.5, did we get the 16.5?
I got it. I got the 16.5. No, I got the 16.5.
I have marijuana memory. Sometimes you forget things.
This is true. Here's mine real quick before we get it out of here. I'm on Seton Hall. I got 2. I'll take 2.5. That's all that's out there now. I can see Ohio State do it. I'm just trusting in this Seton Hall team right now. Hofstra +9.5. Too many points. I like Richmond. I think they're a little bit more talented scoring, but 10's too many. Take the points. This is my ugly dog. I hope they can stay in, shoot the rock a little okay tonight. Citadel +26.5 versus Duke. Hang in there, baby. Hang in, Citadel. And my final one, Santa Clara +3.5. I think this is a pick 'em. You could split it money line, however you guys make your bets. I think they can win outright. But if you feel comfortable, take the 3.5. And that is it, Max. We are done. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Razor Sharp Picks, Real Deal Prime, Hoops 590, Daryl Turner, North Ender, Arthur Mead, Boston Nick, Nikki Fish Tanks in the house, Kev Riley, Thomas Johnson, everyone else, OG Wham, catch him right before us, NBA Pub Hub, and everyone else in your Chris in the Pub Hub, baby. We be pubbing. Chris Comentini, Ray, everyone else, Rimmost, all the guys. Hit the like, hit the bells, hit the whistles, retweet us, check us out. Hopefully we cash big. Hopefully it's a big one. Go get the Pub Rub Hub, rub your meat, rub your steak, your chicken, get that on there. Get it. 2 for $25, 1 for $14.99. Don't get the 1 for $14.99. Get the 2, for $25.99 or $25. Screw the 99. It's just 2 for $25. Get it. I got to get some myself. But that is it for us. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather. It's been a long freaking day. Feel like shit, but we got it done, Max. We will be back tomorrow. I hope we cash big. Do you have anything for the chat real quick?
Yeah, just remember that any pregame bet that you don't like what's going on, put the game on, escape from your wife and children, if you have them, and get a little live bet in, Sometimes it can be addictive. Sometimes it's better than pregame betting. Don't let anyone know that I told you that, though.
Yeah, keep that very low. Low. Nobody know about that. Anyways, thanks so much. Shout out. He's the great Maxwell Smart. I'm Conor Mack. We'll see you tomorrow. We're out of here. NCAA Net Profit. We be pumping all day, all night. We out.